What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is a Tuesday, so this week we are finally actually starting to film content for this weekly upload at a reasonably early start in the week, which is awesome stuff. It's currently Tuesday, the 19th of May 2020, and it is around 8:15 p.m. GMT. I've just hopped off of a call, super epic call, super pumped. Can't really talk about anything, so it was a call with Erek and Molly about TMC, the future, the evolution, how we want to grow, how we can offer more value, what that looks like, and sort of the roadmap to creating it. This is all top secret information, but I came off of it extremely excited about the future. I'm extremely excited for us internally, and I'm extremely excited for everyone who's involved in it as well, as the future looks epic. This is something which I am so happy to now be in a situation, something which I 100% suggest that if you are not in a situation you need to be, because collaborative effort always is going to give you a better result, and you need to be aligned with the people that you work with. I am just so stoked and so excited to be able to be involved in a business which is innovative, it wants to evolve, it's ambitious, it wants to be different, it wants to be huge. And that shit gets me so excited, so pumped. So for anyone out there who doesn't feel like that, make sure in your business ventures that you are putting yourself in a position where you get to work with people who have the same goals, the same values, the same dreams, the same ambition, the same desire, that strong sense of fire that's up your ass. Make sure that someone else has it too, and the results that you're going to get are going to be so much stronger. It's going to 10x the results you get. Yesterday and Sunday, I pretty much spent priming for the week, ensuring that I had all of my menial admin bullshitty tasks, which I don't really want to do, done on a Sunday and Monday, so I can focus on the heavy, deeper work throughout the week, making sure that we're creating, making sure that we're moving forward rather than just treading water. So all of that is out the way, and my schedule this week is not going to be anywhere near as busy as it was last week. So we're actually getting to film some content early on into the week, which is going to be good. The theme for this video is going to be my night routine. I spoke about this in my morning routine, and it was something which everyone said they wanted to see my night routine, because I have a very, very strong believing that there is a huge correlation between a successful morning routine and a successful night routine. If you don't have a night routine in place, it's going to make it so much harder to, one, get the amount of sleep depending on how, your sleep patterns, what you're aiming for. But for myself, getting that 8 hours of sleep that I want to obtain, that 8 hours of good sleep, making sure that my body, my brain, I'm physically and also mentally repairing and ensuring that the next day I can continue at peak performance without getting anywhere near to a burnout stage. So this is what we're going to hop into over the next couple of days, and I'm going to give you all an insight into my night routine, so stay tuned. What is going on, guys? It is currently Thursday the 20th. Just finished up a barbecue. Nadia rated it
9 out of 10.
9.5 I actually believe was the correct score that she gave me. It was delicious, delicious. Something exciting came in for Nadia today. So Nadia has been working with a brand which we cannot disclaim at this point. But what is it? You're allowed to say, yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing a swim line.
She's doing a swim line. Also a linen shirt, which is super cool. You excited?
Yeah.
You've been working on it a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, like 10 months now, I think.
10 months, 12 months. It's been a long time, so this is the first sort of your own product, right? Final samples, your first real own branded product. Second.
First, like, proper one though.
Yeah, first proper one. So being announced on Sunday, so tell your girlfriends to check it out or buy it for your girlfriends when it does come out. But in terms of the launch date, I'm not sure yet because of the whole COVID situation, what's going on in this world right now. Last couple of days have been super productive, just smashing through work blocks, barbecuing, exercising. It's been a good couple of days. We're still blessed with the weather here in the UK, so can't really complain. So I quite like our little garden at this area. It's quite nice. And then our grass is a bit shit, so I decided that we would try and seed it. And I've been doing the sprinklers, trying to get grass seed to come up, but No results yet. The most exciting thing though is this badminton net we picked up. This thing is awesome for anyone who is bored during these times and you get in the sun. Get one of these, it is absolutely epic. So before we jump in and look at my night routine, I want to quickly talk about why I personally have put so much importance on developing these protocols, having a morning routine, having a night routine, how they go together, etc. Because I think that is super important. I never was someone who placed any emphasis on ensuring that I got enough sleep. I was that person who would fall asleep at their desk at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was doing stupid things like leaving MacBook Pros on top of my cars and driving off. I never could remember anything. Everything was always at 100 miles an hour, and I felt like that was a good thing because I was always growing and always growing and always growing. But it was only until I moved out of that and realized the importance of sleep in order to ensure peak performance of brain function, of clarity in my mind, that it really showed me how scrambled those times were. Yes, I worked extremely hard. I achieved things which I don't know if I could have achieved if I was focusing so much on my sleep. I am an advocate saying that there are periods of your life where you will have to do that. I don't disbelieve that. On the other hand, there is 0% chance that your performance is ever going to be better, that you're going to be making the right decisions in all aspects of life when we're thinking about dietary, exercise, all of these things. If you're not sleeping, you're constantly going to be having a lot of friction with your subconscious in order to make sure that you're making the right decisions, which is actually when you focus on your sleep, you ensure you get your REM sleep, your deep sleep, the amount of sleep you should be having relevant to the sleep chronotype that you are, and there are ways to hack it, then you're gonna find that you start to remember things more. You're gonna find that you don't start making stupid decisions. You're gonna find that you want to exercise, that you want to eat right. Whereas when you don't get the sleep that you need, all of these decisions become so much harder to make the right decision. And we all know that in order to consistently make the right decision, you need to make a path of least resistance. And a path of least resistance, the first path of least resistance is ensuring that you have enough sleep in order for your brain function to be high. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I think a night routine and a night protocol is essential when we're thinking in terms of night routine and also morning routine. I think they go together. But also, if you struggle with sleep, a night routine is going to prime you. It's going to set that intent that you're going to sleep rather than getting up to bed, sitting there and thinking, shit, all of these thoughts are now coming to me. I want to write them down because if I don't write them down, I'm not going to remember in the morning. And then next thing you know, you've been awake, just sat there for 2-3 hours not being able to sleep. I was that person, and then I went to a worse stage where actually as soon as I slept, I would be asleep like that because I had such little amount of sleep. And now I just go to sleep extremely primed for sleep, relaxed, and it takes me between 6 and 10 minutes, which is pretty optimal in order to actually fall asleep. So we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna show you my list. It's got some times as well. This is the night routine, which is my general structure. I have protocols in place, and I'll also talk about my sleep chronotype a little bit and go through some further detail, and then we will dive back into each individual thing and talk a little bit about why. Because just the same as my morning routine, this is all in Trello and it's in checklist form. So I work through this list. So I'm gonna quickly just run through it and then I'm gonna go into full depth of each specific thing, why I'm doing it. So the first thing I'll start to do is worry about blue light exposure. So I'll put my red lens glasses on. Then I'll take some supplements, which is krill oil at this point. And at that point, I'll hop on and I'll look at my emails, I'll look at Slack and interact as much as I wish to. And at that point, I'll then hop on afterwards and do my daily watch list creation for trading, looking at all the different markets and making sure I know what I'm looking for the next day. Then I'll make myself a chamomile tea, a sleepy tea, and I will use some natural raw organic honey to help me sleep. I'll also take some MCT oil, which I'll take a spoonful of that. And then I start doing my journaling and also take my last supplement of the day, which is going to be some sort of magnesium blend and also 5-HTP. Lastly, I jump on my acupressure mat and at the same time I do some reading on my Kindle, and that's a total of 20 minutes before I actually get in bed and fall asleep. So this is a document which I made, which is my AM and PM protocol, is pretty much just what I've shown you, not in checklist form, and this is talking about my sleep chronotype. So from experimenting, I found that I'm an early bear, and that means I need around 5 entire sleep cycles, which is roughly 450 minutes, so 7.5 hours. So this is sort of the timings that I work out. So if I need to be up at 5:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. to make sure that I'm primed, so this is on the days where we've got a busy watch list, there's a lot going on in the markets and I don't want to miss out on these moves, I need to be up and primed in peak performance, ready for 6 a.m. GMT, which is when London session starts and entries can start occurring. So I think it's very important to give yourself enough time before you actually need to be at that state. So what I've got here is, in order to get the amount of sleep that I need to hit my chronotypes and make sure that I get enough deep, enough REM sleep, in order to be up at 5, I need to be going to bed at 9:30, and in order to be up at 5:30 a.m, I need to be in bed at 10. This hasn't been as critical at the moment, as the markets, there's not offering a lot of opportunities that are relevant to our strategies, how we trade. It's been pretty quiet this month in terms of entries, so I'm a little bit more lenient with when I wake up, when I go to bed in quiet periods. As long as I'm getting my sleep, it doesn't really matter. The only reason why I wake up at 5 or 5:30 is because I want to prime before London session. If London session was later, then I wouldn't be getting up this early. That said, one of the biggest improvements to my sleep has actually been making sure that I'm going to bed at the same time every night. Over all of the different biohacking things, all of the things that I've spent money on, the largest thing is making sure I've got structure and a similar bedtime. So now we've actually gone through that list, let's talk and break each one down. So the first one that we have is blue light exposure. So around 8 p.m. when the sun is starting to go down here, I want to make sure that I am not exposing myself to blue light. So blue light within the day has benefits. It's going to help you stay alert. It's going to help you feel awake. Whereas actually at nighttime has a massive effect on your circadian rhythm. It does that by suppressing your melatonin production. So your body, it naturally produces, when it starts to get to a certain time in the day, it's going to start naturally producing melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone which it produces in order to make your body feel asleep. So the reason why exposing yourself to blue light at night, it's going to stop you. It's going to suppress your body from producing that hormone which makes you ready for bed. So simply what that essentially means is your body, because it's being exposed to these blue lights, it still thinks it's daytime. So it's not getting ready for bed. So how do we solve this issue? And one of the first things is our iPhones, they come with a sleep mode. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it comes on automatically. It makes your screen go orange, basically meaning that there's not going to be blue light coming from your screen. Same with on the desktop, I've got something installed called Flux, F.lux, same thing at nighttime, and there's many of those different ones, so whatever one suits you. It knows exactly when the sun's rising, it knows when the sun's going down, and it times the color temperature of your screen in order to what time of the day it is, to make sure it's not exposing you to blue light at night. But one of the things is people don't realize how much blue light is within your house. Okay, so you look at this. This is blue light up here. I probably won't show up on here, but there's blue light in this. On my Mac Mini, there's a blue light that's showing. When you go and open the fridge, it's probably got blue lights within it. So as much as you can start to do these things to your tech, blue light is still everywhere else, and artificial light is still everywhere else. So what I've got is these orange lenses. These are blue light blocking orange lenses. You can get them in red. And these are really good for nighttime. You don't want to be wearing them in the day, but they're good for night. So around 8 p.m. or so, I make sure I chuck these on. Obviously, I don't wear these when I'm doing webinars, etc., as yeah, it would just be very strange. But as soon as I'm done the webinars, or 8 o'clock on a normal night, I'm chucking these on. Nadia absolutely hates them. This is what I wear to ensure that I'm not exposing myself to blue light, because it only takes a very small time exposure to blue light in order for your brain to start thinking it's day again, and your body to stop producing that melatonin. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll try and show you exactly what that looks like. So this is the first thing that I do to ensure that I'm not getting any blue lights. And I do a load of things upstairs in the bedroom. It can be a different video as it's not relevant to this night routine. Also around this time, I will take a supplement. It's called Krill Oil. It's basically a fish oil. Google the benefits of krill oil if you want to learn more about this. I'm not going to start breaking down all the supplements that I take and the benefits of it. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so do your own research. So this is krill oil. This is the only fish oil that I take because this is the only one I actually feel like I get benefits from. I've tried many different fish oils, and this krill oil is the only one which I actually seem to feel any different benefit from. It's like that vitamin C. I never used to feel any benefit from vitamin C just normally. Then I started taking the liposomal variant of it, and instantly I could feel a difference within my energy levels, within my brain clarity in the morning, etc., etc. So that's something I take around 8 p.m, 2 hours or so before bed. So after I've done that, that takes seconds, I'll then jump onto my emails. I'll jump onto our Slack community for trading masterclass, and I'll go through and I'll answer anything that needs immediate answers. Doesn't take long, 10-15 minutes, just some interaction. After that, 8:15ish, I'll then go on to start making my daily watch list creation, and this is for trading specific. So I'm looking at equities, I'm looking at currencies, commodities, I'm looking at cryptos. This doesn't take a long time because I've set myself up at the beginning of the week and exactly what I'm waiting for, an estimate of when I think it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. So basically, I'm priming my whole week on a Sunday, and then it's just a daily monitoring. I monitor throughout the day because I can jump on the charts whenever I wish. So when it comes to making my daily watch list creation, this is a very easy task. It doesn't take a long time, 30-45 minutes, and I know exactly what I'm doing the next day. So after that, that's kind of the last time that I will be using my computer. That'll take 30 minutes to an hour. And after that, what I'll do is I'll make a chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is just something to make me relax. It's when I really start to set that intent of, okay, I'm going to bed soon, I'm going to be going to sleep, and my body will start relaxing and my mind starts to get in the right frame of mind. Along with my chamomile tea, and do give that a go because I've tried many different teas, and chamomile tea, it seems to be the most effective for helping me to actually go to bed. Another thing that I use is I have a teaspoon of, this is raw natural honey. Get whatever you can, make sure that you spend more, make sure it's organic, raw, natural. This is something that I take with my chamomile tea. Just take a teaspoon of it, and it's one of those things that you try and it just helps me get into a deeper sleep. I don't think it helps me fall asleep, but it helps me get into a deep sleep. So the benefit of it is they say that it's giving your body something to digest overnight, the same with the krill oil, the high fats. It's giving your body something to digest overnight, so your body isn't going to wake up because it's hungry, etc. So give it a go. Have some raw honey with your sleepy tea before you go to bed, and you will see you will sleep like a baby. Something I also take is MCT oil. So this is from a company called Bulletproof. I'm sure if you're watching this or have heard me talk about Bulletproof before, Dave Asprey is the founder of Bulletproof, big biohacker, and this stuff is incredible. So I take this around 9 o'clock, so about an hour or so before I go to bed. It's similar to the honey. So what this allows you to do is regulate your blood sugars. It allows you to regulate your insulin spikes. So that's gonna, one, help you get to sleep, but also keep you asleep whilst you're actually in bed. So it's gonna help you get the deep and REM sleep, which you need. This stuff is great. Be careful with it when you first start, as it can have effects on your bowels. So do be careful. It's 100% MCT oil. What I noticed from when I started taking this before bed, when I woke up in the morning, my brain clarity was just on a different level. I never had that fog. I always had energy and my brain was just clear. I also take this just after my first meal when I break my fast around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. After that, what I will do, and again, that's not tasks that take a long time. It's just taking supplements and making a tea. So we're probably still around 9:30 at this point. And at this point, that's when I sit down and do my journaling. This can take 10 minutes, it can take 20 minutes, depending on how my day's gone, depending on how I'm feeling, depending on how many thoughts are going through my brain. Journaling is a huge topic. I think it's extremely beneficial for your sleep to do it before you go to bed, to incorporate it into a night routine, because what you're going to be able to do is clear your brain of all the thoughts which have come up in the day by writing down everything that has come up. You can write down all your thoughts, you can write down things you're grateful for. Self-journaling is a huge, huge thing. It's changed my life and I would definitely recommend looking into it more. I could do a whole video on self-journaling, so I don't want to share too much detail here because I will probably do that at some point in the future. So this is the last supplement that I take before bed. This is one that I've been trialing. It's not my favorite. I'm not going to be ordering it again. What I do to make sure that I'm getting the most efficient sleep is I use this ring, okay? This is called an Aura ring. It's wearable tech. It connects to an app on your phone. It measures you throughout the night. It tells you how much REM you're getting, how much deep sleep you're getting. It shows you the cycles. It tells you your resting heart rate. It's got a ton of data on there. It's an absolutely epic piece of tech which you can use the data in order to make changes and experiment. At the beginning, when I started having a massive focus on my sleep because I knew it's how I was going to reach peak performance, I made a shitload of changes. It's hard to measure something when you've made a shitload of changes because you don't know what's been beneficial and what's not. So now I'm making tiny tweaks, seeing what's happening over a week, 2 week period, and then adjusting accordingly. So this was a new supplement that I started taking about 2 weeks ago and I don't rate it. This is a blend of magnesium. It's also got 5-HTP in it. So magnesium before bed is a great thing because it helps melatonin regulation, and it also just reduces levels of stress. This also has 5-HTP in it and a couple of other things that are for brain function and brain clarity. However, I won't be sticking on this. The main thing that I'm looking for is a magnesium product, but I like it to be blended with other things like 5-HTP because I actually find a lot of benefit from 5-HTP. This won't be something that I'm using again, but it will be another magnesium blend. At this point, we're probably 9:30, 10, and all that I have left to do now is to really get myself into that zone of falling asleep. So what I use is something called an acupressure mat, and I lay on that for 20 minutes whilst reading my Kindle. And that was something that I bought a long time ago, back when I was in my old flat. And I never really felt much benefit from it, but I didn't consistently use it. As soon as I started using that every day consistently, the amount of benefit that I found was just huge. Not only does it help me relax and sort of get me ready for that state of sleep, but also from a recovery sense, I've found huge benefits from this. So have a Google into that. It's called an acupressure mat. Whilst I do that, and this is probably a bit controversial as a lot of people say, don't do this at your nighttime routine, I read my Kindle. This is called a Kindle Oasis. I know someone will ask what one it is and what one to get. As well, I'm on that acupressure mat, I'm reading, because I have it in mind that from the beginning of the year, because I lost it last year, was to make sure that I'm reading each day. And the best way that I have found in order to create habits again is to intertwine them and combine them with things that you're already doing. So I'm already on that acupressure mat, so let's do some reading for 20 minutes as well. So that gives you a general overview of my night routine. It's not exactly the same every night. I'm not a robot. These things will change. Twice a week I'm hosting webinars at 9 p.m, so everything shifts back a little bit. I just do my best in order to stick to that nighttime protocol as much as I can and just ensure, even if the times are different, that I'm ticking everything off, because that's what's going to prime me to go to sleep, which is going to allow me to wake and rise with a mindset that's going to be all about peak performance and ensuring brain clarity and ensuring that my body is ready to go as well. So guys, we are going to wrap this weekly vlog up here. Mr. Bean is going to say ciao. Hope you've enjoyed that insight into my night routine and why I think it's so important and why it goes so much with having a good morning routine to make sure that you are at that peak performance at all times. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to put them down below in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. We're gonna go barbecue.
Yeah. And wine.
Let's go barbecue and wine. Peace out guys, take care.